Amigos, bienvenidos. Lo que van a ver ahora es un fragmento del stream del día 11 del 5. Yo hoy me estoy yendo de vacaciones, no sé cuándo lo verán ustedes, porque incluso mi editor está de vacaciones, así que voy a tener que pedirle a otro editor, pero otros temas. Tuvimos una charla con Jihoz, ¿ok? Ahora yo en el principio del stream les explico de dónde es que salió esta charla, cómo fue que nació, pero nada, me pareció importante compartirla con ustedes. En la charla, ¿sí? En el stream que acabamos de tener, estaba Lima haciendo traducciones de lo que decía Jihoz. Yo en este caso, en este video, para que no quede tan largo, lo que voy a hacer es hacer que el editor le ponga subtítulos. Nada, van a tener las palabras de Jihoz con subtítulos y después mi pregunta en español sin el translate de Lima, ¿sí? Entonces ahorramos tiempo en el video. Muchas gracias a Lima por acompañarme en este momento. Gracias a Jihoz por la oportunidad y por haber compartido con nosotros. Y me gustaría que me dejen en los comentarios. Yo sé que mucha gente va a decir, ¿por qué no hablaron de otras cosas? Nada, no me invitó a hablar de Axie Infinity, no me invitó a hablar del estado actual, me invitó a hablar de su pasado en los VR markets y de un poco de la historia de lo que fue Axie Infinity. Entonces yo sé que hay gente que va a ir a comentar ¿por qué no hablan de otras cosas? Nada, no hablamos de otras cosas porque no era el tema de hoy. Tampoco que mi intención era faltar el respeto metiendo temas que no iban. Pero bueno, estuvo bastante interesante, a mí me gustó mucho conocerlo y me parece que puede ser de bastante ayuda, por lo menos incluso para mí, como yo le comentaba, mi poca experiencia en VR markets. Yo estoy simplemente nutriéndome ahora de un montón de gente que ya lo vivió para tratar de superarlo de la mejor manera, porque es duro para todos. Así que nada, disfruten el video y vuelvo de vacaciones el 20, así que va a haber pocos videos hasta el 20. Les mando un beso muy grande y nos vemos en la próxima. Adiós. Entonces lo que pasó fue que el otro día, nada, ayer Jihoz tuiteó esto, que básicamente puso, estuvimos acá antes y sabemos qué es lo que hay que hacer, en el sentido de que no es el primer ciclo bajista que viven. Yo le puse que este era mi primer VR market y que podía sentir que iba a ser duro. Entonces me dijo, tengamos una charla. Yo creo que simplemente, nada, me invitó a charlar, a compartir un rato. Nada, acá yo le dije que me encantaría hablar con él en algún momento, pero que si es por el VR market que no se preocupe, que yo sé que va a ser duro, pero que simplemente a mí me va a enseñar un montón y que yo sentía que tenía que pasar por el proceso para aprender. Y que sí, que no se preocupe, que aunque, digamos, que yo seguía confiando en Axie Infinity independientemente del VR market o no, o sea, porque capaz él había sentido que yo estaba como transmitiendo mi duda por algún tipo de sentido. Entonces yo le dije que si era por eso que no se preocupara si es que llegaba a ser por eso. Entonces me dijo, me gustaría contarte acerca de mi historia en el VR Market 2018, 19, 20. Y bueno, nada, después un muchacho puso que lo podríamos hacer en vivo. Yo le dije acá, que uno puso, háganlo en vivo, yo le puse, me encantaría, pero depende de él. Me dijo, hagámoslo y bueno, nada. Hoy es un día un poco complicado para hacer esto. Hoy es un día complicado porque, bueno, fue un día en donde hubo una baja bastante grande. En general, como que medio paniquearon mucho los mercados, bajó todo un montón. Principalmente Axie Infinity se vio muy golpeado por lo que estuvo pasando. Entonces, hasta recién, literalmente hasta hace 2 minutos antes de empezar a hablar, estábamos debatiendo si es que tenía sentido hacerlo ahora o no. Me gustaría conocer sus opiniones, si hacer esta charla ahora o no. O sea, yo ya les dije que ya estábamos acá y que me encantaría hacerla, pero tiene que ver con que el sentimiento ahora mismo está como muy encendido, por decirlo de alguna manera. Hay gente que quizás perdió mucho dinero justo hoy, están como el ambiente caliente, por decirlo de alguna manera. Entonces es como un poco peligroso porque quizás esto que está pensado como para sumar y compartir y hablar al respecto termina siendo como un backfire, en el sentido de que quizás hay gente que se enoja conmigo o piensa que esto es una campaña para hacer algo que no es. ¿Se entiende? O sea, él me dijo que quiere compartir conmigo y claramente con nosotros todo lo que su experiencia en los otros VR markets. Va a estar Lima también, por lo que yo ni siquiera voy a tener que hablar en inglés. O sea, yo le voy a preguntar en español y Lima va a hacer el translate y después Jihoz va a responder en inglés y Lima va a hacer el translate. Entonces, en ese sentido, no es que voy a estar ahí porque tampoco me da el inglés como para estar ahí uno a uno. Pero si alguien quiere que yo le pregunte algo acerca de su experiencia en otros VR markets, alguna pregunta en específico, me la pueden pasar ahora y si es interesante la voy a tener en cuenta. Claro, o sea, tiene que ver con eso, que en los VR markets mucha gente, nada, sufre. La realidad es que mucha gente pierde mucho dinero y en verdad se pierde el dinero cuando uno decide salirse, o sea, decide vender. Hay mucha gente que, yo he leído historias en Twitter de gente que holdeó durante muchos meses o años y recuperó, incluso superó lo que tenía. Entonces digo, es mucho mental, las emociones están muy envueltas. Entonces, nada, creo que eso está interesante para charlarlo. De vuelta, hasta recién estábamos decidiendo si lo íbamos a hacer hoy o no. Yo no les voy a mentir, yo no sé si hoy es el mejor momento para hacerlo. Muy probablemente no lo sea. En términos reales, existe la posibilidad de que mucha gente se tome esto a mal, pero yo sentí que ya, o sea, no quería hacerlos perder el tiempo y tampoco es que vamos a estar acá 3 horas charlando, va a ser media horita, 40 minutos, lo que él tenga ganas de compartir, pero bueno, nada, quería contarles esto de intro para que entiendan un poco lo que está por pasar. Pero bueno, gracias a los que me van a acompañar hoy, a los que están acá en el stream, seguramente debe haber gente mirándolo en YouTube después, porque esto va a ir sin edición ni nada. No tengo preguntas armadas, porque esto no está pensado tanto como una entrevista, va a fluir mucho. Nada, va a estar Lima ahí por si en algún momento me quedo, nos colgamos en la charla. Yo sé que hay mucha gente que tiene muchas ganas de decir cosas o preguntar cosas de B2, del SLP, de otras cosas, pero bueno, no vamos a hablar específicamente de eso ahora. Además no les voy a mentir, yo estoy más nervioso que la chucha. O sea, hablar en inglés ahora voy a ser un tartamudo, así que sí, ¿para qué les voy a mentir? No, sí, esto es los nervios de la previa, en todos lados. ¿Nunca te sentí nervioso en cuanto te patotearon entre varios youtubers? ¿Estuviste nervioso? Es que es la previa. En ese momento de la previa también estaba nervioso, pero es porque así funcionan nuestros cerebros, ¿verdad?
Rojan, ¿cómo estás? Muy buenas tardes.
Todo bien, acá andamos un poquito nervioso, pero con ganas de charlar.
Vamos entonces, voy a hacer la presentación en inglés con Jihoz. Jihoz, how are you, my brother?
Hey, Jihoz.
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. It's a hard day, but we're here.
Sí, yo quería agradecerle personalmente por la oportunidad que siempre tiene conmigo. Hoy me invitó a charlar, a compartir un poco de su historia, así que quería decirle gracias. Y que sabemos todos que hoy particularmente es un día complicado, pero igualmente tenemos ganas de charlar y escuchar su experiencia en el pasado para poder aprender de él también.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. So, yeah.
Bueno, no sé si quiere comenzar un poco contándonos cuáles son sus sensaciones hoy al respecto de lo que está pasando ahora. Y después si quiere remontar, un poco para atrás para como él sienta que es correcto empezar a contarnos al respecto.
Sure. So today I have mixed feelings. Of course, it's always it hurts. Like you have that kind of anxiety, right? Like you feel, like what's gonna happen? Like the future is so, like what is this blockchain and crypto thing? Is it actually gonna work, or are we too early? Are we ahead of our time? You have all of these thoughts, right? On the other hand, on days like this, I get kind of excited in certain ways as well, where okay, it's like this is gonna be the time where it really separates the winners from the losers, right? Like, because during a bull market, everyone is doing well and every project is doing well. So it's kind of even hard to tell which are the good projects, because a lot of bad projects are doing well during a bull market. During the bad times is when you have the opportunity to distinguish yourself. That is the time where the true builders have an opportunity to build, and also a lot of the bad projects, they go away. So that when you continue to build and you do the right thing, your successes, they're more apparent. Why? Because there's not as much noise. The reason the bull markets cannot last forever is because people have limited amount of attention and they have a limited amount of energy. During a bull market, there's so many new projects coming. People are so excited and they're staying up looking at their phone, the computer all the time. It's not sustainable, right? Like people run out of energy, they run out of attention. Bear market, it's part of nature. There are peaks and then there are valleys, and it's needed. Cycles are needed. Otherwise, people are gonna go crazy actually because their health is gonna fail them, right? They're gonna be too distracted. Nobody's gonna build anything. So, there's good times and there are bad times, but the bad times are really necessary for bringing about the next stage.
Algo muy importante es lo que él nombraba, que ese sentimiento que se genera como de ansiedad. Y es loco pensar que si incluso a él le pasa, que él ya lo vivió varias veces, lo intenso que debe ser para alguien nuevo, que nunca lo vivió, que quizás no era consciente de que existían estos ciclos. Nada, ¿qué considera él importante que debería saber, o qué le diría a alguien que está viviendo su primer ciclo, su primer bear market, como para poder controlar todas estas emociones que muchas veces nos terminan dominando?
First, I want to say, like, when you're going through it the first time, you feel like, I don't know, the world is ending. You feel like physically sick. Like, it's hurting here, kind of here, somewhere here. I know exactly where the pain is in your chest. Your chest feels tight. Why? Because I feel it. I feel it. I still feel it. But the difference between when I feel it now and when I first felt it is like, I know now that it's normal. This is a normal part of being in crypto. So I think like first understand that it's okay to feel bad. Don't feel bad about feeling bad. It's okay to feel like that. Second, what did we do during the last time and to be able to make it through? First of all, it was hard. Sometimes like I felt really bad and I didn't want to wake up. Like I didn't want to do anything. Like that is a normal feeling. But we believe that this is an important revolution. Think about like the North Star. Why are you doing this? For us, this is about freedom. It's about educating people. It's about helping people. And it's about doing something that's never been done before. Doing things that have never been done before, that's hard. Doing things that are easy, yeah, it might be less volatile and you're not going to feel like as bad sometimes, but you're not going to go down in history. So we know that doing this mission is huge and the potential is huge, and it's really important for us to focus on why we're doing this, right? Like why are you interested in this? So think about that. Sometimes it's going to be hard. That's normal, but the key is, okay, during bear markets there's lots of opportunities. Like you have more time to focus, to be honest, right? Like you have more time to focus, so try to build good habits. Try to build good habits where you're wait, Lima, can you turn off your volume right now? Because it's just making a lot of noise.
Oh, no worries.
Sí, entre translate si quieres mutealo que hay ruido allá.
Okay, so I think it's important to like, during the last bear market, like it was hard, but every single day we just kept building a little bit. Like do a little thing. Have good habits, right? Like we went to the gym. We woke up, you went to the gym. Exercise, it's gonna change your brain. Like, you know, having good exercise, good habits, good sleep, getting sunlight if you live in a sunny area. These are things that are gonna help adjust your mood and give you energy. Once you have that energy, you're gonna be able to make like small little changes, right? Different experiments. I actually have a sheet where I try different little experiments where I'm trying to get 1% better, a little bit better each day. Like for example with tweets, it's like, okay, like what if we use this emoji rather than this emoji? Does this change how many clicks? And then you record that. So just trying different little things day by day and having a habit of that over like 2 years, it builds up. In the last bear market, we had around 200 players. There were 200 people that owned Axies. And so like I just had a goal of every day I'm gonna try and get one new player. So just try to have little goals, little experiments that over time they begin to compound. But yeah, it's really hard. You know, especially like, you know, your livelihood. You feel like your livelihood is at risk. So yeah, I want people to know that it's totally normal to feel like the world is ending, and I felt like that before. A lot of people in the Axie community felt like that before. A lot of people in the Ethereum community felt like that before. That's a part of crypto, and it's something that actually is needed. It's like the fire in nature, right? Like sometimes the forests have to burn down a little bit, but that fire, it activates the seeds. Or it's, I said this earlier, right? Like you need the fertilizer. This fertilizer smell bad, but that's what have the nutrients to create the next growth cycle.
Yo tenía una pregunta para hacerle y es ¿cómo sintió él su primer bear market? En el sentido de que si tuvo alguien que lo acompañe, yo me imagino que como había bastante menos gente en el ecosistema cripto, eran menos los experimentados, entonces era más difícil quizás buscar apoyo o consejos. Y si es que hubo alguien que lo ayudó o cómo fue que él transicionó su primer bear market.
Those days in 2018, 2019, right? So maybe I'll talk a little bit like about how I got into the space. So I graduated college in 2015, actually. At first, I was a recruiter. Like I was helping people find jobs at kind of like hedge funds or in kind of financial industry. But I felt like I wasn't doing anything that actually helped people, or I wanted to do something that would change the world, or at least do something that nobody had ever done before, kind of like an explorer. So I quit my job in September of 2017. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, actually. Like the only reason that I could quit is because I actually, when I was a college student, I had bought some Tesla stock, and it was doing pretty good at that time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life, but we're gonna figure it out. If I don't do this now, then I might end up spending the rest of my life doing something that I don't love. So I quit my job. I wasn't sure what to do. I was on the internet a lot, searching for different ideas. Like probably many of you guys spend a lot of your time on the internet looking for, I don't know, interesting information, even also, yeah, maybe new ways to make money just by being on the internet. I think that's pretty common for the latest generations. And I discovered something called CryptoKitties, I think through some article. And I saw that, you know, one CryptoKitty had sold for $200,000. And I was interested in crypto, but I wasn't interested in it when it was just about Bitcoin price and people making money. But when I saw CryptoKitties, I was like, okay, this is interesting because it's kind of like collecting, it's a little bit like gaming, and those are things that I grew up loving. So I was like, okay, this is actually something that appeals to me. Maybe it's gonna appeal to other people too. So I decided to try it out. Yeah, I started breeding cats and collecting, and you know, I turned my 0.5 ETH that I had into a couple of ETH, maybe 10 ETH, something like that. And I thought I was doing great. Like, I thought I was like the coolest person of all time. I was even streaming. That's why I have a soft spot, I think, for the content creators, because actually, like, I started out as a content creator in NFT as well, maybe one of the first. So I was doing that, and at that time, like when I got in, I think ETH price was $300, and then it went to $1,400, and I felt like I was the king. I had, you know, 10 ETH, and ETH was $1,000. It was like, okay, I can pay my rent. Like, I found a new way of doing this. Like, oh, my life is gonna be different from now on. I felt so excited. But then there was one day where ETH went down from 1,400 to 700 in one day. It was like 50% drop. I was like, okay, felt kind of bad, but whatever. Like, that's still higher than I came in. Whatever. Like, but then it was like for, you know, just going down and down and down and down. And then during that time, also CryptoKitties was not doing very well, and it seemed like they didn't want to keep working on the project. So I was like, okay, I need to find something else. I need to find a new way to spend my time. And then I actually ended up finding the Axie community, and I was like, okay, like this is a project where they want to add utility, right? Like they want to actually create NFTs that you need to use, and that can be upgraded over time. This project seems like it has like a long-term mindset. And I felt like I wanted to be involved. So I just started doing work. I said, I'm gonna be the community manager, even before I was the community manager. So I was like, I just started helping to manage the community. And then I, you know, started talking to Trung, and I knew Alexander Psych Out, as you guys know him from CryptoKitties. But at that time, Axie was so small. We raised, I think, 600 ETH at that time selling the Origin Axies. So that was kind of like our money was 600 ETH. And I think ETH was maybe around $400 at that time. For the rest of that year, right, like eventually I joined the team, and there was no money, so I didn't actually get paid. There was very small amount of money, so I didn't get paid. I actually just got paid in an AOC initially. During that year, like we saw, okay, we have 600 ETH, but every day the ETH price went down and down and down and down and down until I think October. We had maybe 100 ETH left or something like that, and the ETH price was now like $200, right? So not much money. And I think, you know, talked to Trung, and he said, yeah, there is no money to pay you. I was like, okay, like I came all the way to Vietnam. I still believe in this project. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep building. I was eating maybe one time per day. Like November and December of 2018, when, you know, we thought that Axie might go bankrupt. Like, I had moved to a foreign country. Everyone in my life thought that it was a bad idea, or they were very confused about what I was doing. And I felt like, wow, like I might have to go back home. I might not be able to work on Axie anymore. I might be bankrupt. How can I get a job in the normal world if I explain that I just spent, you know, a year working on something kind of like Pokemon, but using this new technology that you probably never heard of because there's only 2,000 people who know about it. That was probably the moment that I felt the most scared. What did I do? I still felt scared, but I put one foot in front of the other. I controlled what I could control. Everyone at Sky Mavis did that. Everyone in the Axie community did that. And I could tell that we had a really special group because of the bear market. People were getting close to each other. So you ask, like, who did I have to help me or mentor me? Well, there were some people like Coco. To him, it just seemed normal. I was like, okay, like that's how he got to be where he is. But yeah, it was hard, and there was nobody in real life that I really knew or trusted that had been through it before. But during those hard times, Axie community, we needed each other more than ever. So, and nobody in our kind of like real life was interested in what we were doing or believed in us. The only people who really believed were kind of in that community, and that made people get even closer to the Axie community and their friend. I think like what I'm trying to say is you guys need each other. The Axie community needs each other. We need to embrace each other with strong arms times right now, because these are the times where bonds are really formed. That was kind of my story of, 2018 at least, right? And obviously during that time we just kept building, right? Like 2018 we released the first auto battle system, we released our marketplace, then we had the land, and then we released V2. We released V2 in 2019 and nobody was playing. Like the first day there were 300 people that were playing. And then in March of 2020, it was a big crash in crypto because of COVID. That was the worst for me, because I thought that we were had built for 2 years, like finally this is our chance, and then boom, like everything went down 60% in one day, and I felt so bad. I remember talking to Chuck Fresco. Chuck Fresco bought that day actually. So Chuck Fresco, he was able to buy on March 12th, 2020 during that day, and I remember I was living with my parents in their basement at that time. I remember telling my parents yeah, I'm financially ruined, so I may have to keep living here for longer. That was basically 2 years ago. I was financially ruined, living in my parents' basement, and that felt really bad. I don't know if I have the magic words, but what I wanted to do is tell you that I've been through that. We've been through that. We've seen it. And it's normal. This is something that happens. I went through it. We went through it. We survived. We had this amazing growth cycle in 2020, 2021. Now hard times seem to be back again. I don't know if I have the magic words, but I wanted to share my story because I feel like I still consider myself a newbie to crypto because I came in 2017. I know people who have been in crypto since 2012, 2013, 2014, right? So I still consider myself a noob. And I think the thing that really helped me was just realizing this is normal. Coco, he'd been through it before. He seemed to, be resistant. I would say it's kind of like a vaccine, right? You get the shot and then after that, you're okay. So this is kind of like you're getting vaccinated for the bear markets. You're going through the first one, you're gonna feel a little bit sick, but that's normal. And I went through it, and I think every single time that this has happened in crypto, it's been an opportunity to build. It's been a good thing because it creates new opportunities for the next generation. Can I say 100% that that's gonna be the case? Again, I cannot actually promise that, but what I can promise is that in the past, every single instance has been like that.
Sí, yo siento que hoy tenemos la suerte, o por lo menos yo tengo la suerte de poder nutrirme de las experiencias de un montón de miembros de la comunidad que ya pasaron por esto. Aún con todas esas experiencias, siento que es difícil de asimilar y siento que para mucha gente debe ser mucho más difícil de asimilar y de entender, y quizás gente que nunca lo había pensado o que no estaba preparada, si es que alguien puede estar preparado. Pero me parece importante tener estas charlas, compartir estas experiencias. Yo sé que por lo menos a mí me sirve un montón escucharlo personalmente de él, así que muchas gracias nuevamente. Y estoy seguro que a muchos miembros de la comunidad también le hace bien, o por lo menos los tranquiliza un poco, si es que se puede, conocer las experiencias pasadas de VR Markets de otros miembros de la comunidad. Así que nada, muchas gracias para Jihoz. You're muted, Jihoz.
Thank you, Rohan. I also want to say, I'm a big fan of yours. I think that you're doing such an amazing job. I was surprised that you said that this is your kind of first bear market. You conduct yourself like a veteran, like a pro. So I'm really happy to have you in the community, and I appreciate you. And it's been great to talk to you. I feel like kind of one-on-one. Another thing that I'll say, I think a lot of the things that I said is kind of very serious, but another thing that always make me really believe in the future of this technology is go to the bank and try to talk to the people who work at the bank. Try to do something with your account. Call of them, right? All of that is so inefficient. It makes me so angry. I realize that it's so inefficient. I always just say, okay, this is good. That's why crypto is gonna win. Go to the bank and try to interact with them, and you're gonna know why this technology will win in the long run. That's also something that always helped me believe. Banks are so inefficient. Banks, they hold our money for us. We don't own our money, right? And that's across everything. We don't own our money. We don't own our data. We don't own our game assets. When is it gonna end, right? That is what this revolution is about. It makes so much sense to me, especially when I go to the bank And I talked to them. I realized they have no idea what they're doing. I believe in this technology. Why? Because, you know, when I was a kid, I used to play World of Warcraft. And I was playing so much World of Warcraft that my mom said, okay, you have to go to boarding school. So I didn't live at home from when I was 14 to when I was 18 because I was playing too much World of Warcraft. And so when I was gonna leave my home, I said, okay, you know, I'm gonna sell my character. And my character was quite good. It was vanilla. I was actually a beta tester. I had a Tauren warrior on Shadow Moon server. It had an Ash Candy, which is like a two-handed sword that you can only get from Blacking Lair, which is like one of the raids. And there were only a couple of guilds. I think there was maybe 5 of this sword on the server. So I wanted to sell it. You know, I listed on eBay, and then I get some offers, and I find someone who wants to buy it. But then what happened? There's no real safe way to do the transaction. So how do we do it? Like, I had to bring my mom, and we met this guy in public to basically do the transaction. Whenever I doubt Web3 and NFTs, like, I always think about like that time when me as a kid, like, I had to bring my mom with me on a trip to be able to sell my World of Warcraft character. So think about those experiences. Think about like how annoying banks are. Think about how annoying it is to actually try to sell your game item. I think that will give you the belief that's needed to persevere.
Sí, yo comparto mucho la pasión que él tiene y quizás hasta yo lo llamaría, por lo menos para mí, obsesión con la tecnología. O sea, con la tecnología cripto, web3, blockchain. Todo eso siento que a mí también me da muchísimo la sensación o incluso la certeza de que es inevitable que el mundo camine hacia ese lado. Creo que todavía, por lo menos desde mi perspectiva, a la comunidad le falta valorar justamente el valor del ownership. Siento que es algo que todavía no se termina por lo menos de entender o de apreciar y que siento que con el paso de los años se va a apreciar mucho más. Y una de las razones por las cuales siento que Axie Infinity siempre le va a ir muy bien es porque es un puente entre la gente que no lo descubrió, no lo entendió y la gente que se está metiendo en el mundo web 3. Entonces, nada, yo también le tengo como mucha fe en ese sentido.
Thank you, Rohan. Yeah, you're on the right path, and I think you have the right mindset. Yeah, it was really good to chat with you today, and I hope that you got something out of it, and I hope that the audience enjoyed it and learned a lot.
Sí, yo nada, agradecerle nuevamente a él por venir a compartir su experiencia. Espero en algún momento conocerlo en persona. Capaz algún día nos cruzamos en algún viaje o algo. Y por lo menos a mí me sirvió bastante. Yo hay muchas cosas que no sabía del pasado de él o de su experiencia en los VR markets o mismo en la historia de Axie Infinity. Tampoco sabía que hacía contenido antes. Así que nada, por lo menos a mí me sirvió mucho. Estoy seguro que a mucha gente de la comunidad también. Y muchas gracias por venir. Un placer haberlo conocido.
Awesome. Yeah, it was really fun and to share. And sometimes like it can be hard. Sometimes I can forget that people don't know everything about me. I feel like I'm so public, right? Like I feel like so it's actually very difficult for me because I'm kind of a private person, but I know that in my position it's needed for me to be like, you know, kind of out there in public. And sometimes it's hard for me to realize that, oh, like many of my followers and many of the people in the community, they've only been around for 1 year. They don't know like the full history. So I think it's important to talk about that. And yeah, I would love to meet in person. I hope to maybe come to Buenos Aires in Argentina.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year.
That will be
I want to
great.
make it happen.
Yeah, perfecto. Bueno, supongo que eso es todo. Thank you so much, Jihoz. And yeah, hope I see you soon. Goodbye.
Much love. Gracias por todo. Yo voy a practicar mi español para nuestro meeting.
Encuentro.